Okay, so I'm about to go on a rant, and I'm about to get real and talk about some real stuff that I think needs to be spoken about. So if a rant is not your cup of tea, I suggest that you click off and stay tuned because more content videos are coming. But this needs to be said, so I'm posting this video. So, okay. There's a lot of things that I am tired of. And I tried to stay positive, and I'm a positive person for the most part. But I'm also a not take no shit kind of person. And I feel like this whole process preparing for surgery has been a process from hell, because I have dealt with nothing but bureaucracy and roadblocks and ignorant people, and people acting like I'm stupid or I'm not on top of my shit, or I don't know what is affecting my body. I live in my body. Like, as a disabled woman of color, I know I live in my body. I know what is wrong with my body. And I'm tired of this innate narrative that people with disabilities or people of color, or just people in general, if you're not part of the majority, if you're not part of the patriarchy, if you're not part of the white world, if you're not part of the able world, I'm tired of being made to feel like I'm stupid, because I'm telling people I 100% cannot understand why doctors take positions and do certain jobs that they know nothing about. I don't even know how many times I had to tell doctors I'm in pain, I can't feel my legs, I cannot walk. And they would be like, "Oh no, you're not being active, you're not doing this, you're not doing that." And I'm like, I'm not doing it because I can't. I came to you because all the options that I tried for myself did not work. You're getting paid to be a doctor, and y'all don't know shit. Y'all don't know shit about bedside manner. Y'all don't know nothing about, y'all don't know nothing about human suffering, apparently. Don't know nothing about that. And, I understand that, it's not always the doctors, that it's the support staff. And the job of the doctor is to make sure that that surgeries and procedures go 100% accurate. But it's not even. But there's so much stuff that goes on behind the scenes when you're trying to get proper care, especially specific care when you have a disability or you have an identity that is not represented or is not in the medical books. God forbid you identify as LGBTQ or disabled, or you're a person of color, you're not white. If you don't present as the textbook case, they don't know what to do with you. And I think that is bullshit, because I think healthcare is too expensive to have people caring for people that don't know what to do if it doesn't fit into a textbook situation. It's ridiculous. I'm tired of this assumption that people with disabilities or people with pre-existing health conditions don't know what they're talking about when it comes to their health or their symptoms that they're experiencing. And anybody in general, it's just, I'm tired of it. But specifically as a woman of color who has a disability, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm having surgery in a week. I'm supposed to be in a space where I'm mentally preparing to, go through this. Because while I'm excited for this new beginning, I have to be mentally prepared to go through it so that my body can do what it needs to do. I should not be having to argue with support staff. I should not have to prove myself. I should not have to prove that I'm not lying at every turn. I should not have to convince somebody that I'm on my A game and I'm not a slacker. And the reason why I'm scrambling to try and put these dates and get these appointments is because nobody actually followed through and said they were going to set up my appointments, never did. So now I'm scrambling trying to set up these appointments. And I never get sent the documentation that I need. I always have to call 50 million times. Like, I can't, it's never like, I need the paperwork. Okay, no problem. We'll send you the paperwork. It's never that. It's, oh, we sent it. You didn't get it? No, I did not get the paperwork. Oh, we sent it. Don't know why it's going through. Oh, we sent it. Like, you're going to have to wait. Like, the wait list is long. I cannot understand how somebody that doesn't have a disability, who has regular health problems, like needs a hip replacement or cataract or anything, even if it's not a non-cosmetic thing, can get it 1, 2, 3. I know people that have had 1, 2, and 3 surgeries while I've been waiting for this surgery. And it's always one thing after another. If it's not my health, there's no space, or there's no time, or there's a wait list, or there's this, there's that. Like, it's always something. Like, I'm not getting this surgery for my good looks. Like, today I went to the doctor to get a pre-op clearance. And my surgeon's office sent me a blank piece of paper, and the doctor's office got upset with me because my surgeon's office didn't document what needed to be put on the paper. That is not my fault. I am the patient. I am the person that's going for the surgery. It shouldn't matter if I was having surgery in the same hospital or a different hospital. It should not matter. The goal of care should be making you feel comfortable and making you feel like your voice is heard and making you feel like, we know you're about to go do this surgery, so let's make that shit easier. It's ridiculous. I spent most of the time trying to justify that I've done everything I needed to do to get appointments, to make sure all my I's are dotted and all my T's are crossed, all my ducks are in a row for this surgery. And then they like, oh, well, you should have scheduled it weeks in advance. I'm like, this is a pre-op. It can't be scheduled weeks in it. Like, I'm waiting for them. I was waiting for these doctors to call me, tell me they had it. Then it was an insurance issue. It's always an issue. It's always an issue. And honestly, quite frankly, I feel like the issues is bullshit. Y'all just fronting. Because people ain't doing what they supposed to do. People ain't doing their job. And everybody want to pass the blame on to somebody else, but nobody's doing what they're supposed to do. It really should not be this complicated. And then, as I'm talking to a doctor and a nurse, they want to be like, oh, well, the physical body, it's controlled by the brain, so it's all in your head. No, it's not all in my head. I'm not having physical problems because it's all in my head. I have a physical disability that is affected by the fact that I have a traumatic brain injury. So it started in my head. The origin is in my head, but it's not in my head. My body is not functioning how it's supposed to function. And it's not functioning how it's supposed to function because I have a disability. It ain't shit that's in my head. I'm not lying. I'm not saying, oh, I can't walk or I can't do certain things just for fun. Who wants to say that? I'm tired of doctors belittling people. I'm tired of support staff not doing what they're supposed to do. It is ridiculous. Like, there's so much work that needs to be done for people with disabilities. It's ridiculous. Like, and I'm bringing this up because it needs to be brought up, and it's Disability Awareness Month. So here you go. Disability awareness. The ADA has only been around since 1990. I'm 30. It was around 2 years before I was around. Imagine if I'm going through this and people I know and care about are going through things similar to myself, and people I don't even know. I'm sure probably my disabled kinfolk and other groups that are not well represented or respected or valued or validated in the medical field are going through the same stuff. Like, things need to change. Like, you cannot tell somebody that you can't tell somebody that, like, you don't know what to do. You cannot tell somebody that something they're telling you that's bothering them is in their head. Especially if they have a physical ailment or they have a pre-existing health condition. That is not something that's just like, oh yeah, it is what it is. If you don't know about the health condition, or you don't, it's not something you feel like you can handle, then don't take the patient. But don't dismiss it like, oh, it's not a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. And it needs to be fixed. And I'm just so annoyed that I constantly have to fight with people for stuff that I need. That is a necessity. That's all I'm asking for. I'm asking for paperwork. I'm asking for appointments. I'm asking for my stuff to be in so that the day I go for surgery, I don't have to worry about nothing. I'm sure that these people wish that I would shut the fuck up. And I would just be like, yeah, okay. I feel like sometimes, like the mindset of this able-bodied world is like, how dare she think she could be educated and disabled and have a surgery to help her better her quality of life so that it might make it easier for her to be a contributing member of society. How dare she? And she's a woman of color too. How dare she think that she'd be able to accomplish that? That is the mindset we are in, and that is crazy, and that is not okay. And I'm tired. I'm tired of being pat on the back for how strong I am. I don't want to take no more hits. Like, we should not be commended for how many hits we take and how good we take them. Like, no. Things in the system need to be changed. We don't need to pat somebody on the back for how well they take the able-bodied world. That shit needs to be changed. We only have one world. And we need to change the world that we live in, because this one is not okay. We need to stop commending people for how many punches they take and how resilient they are. And we should start fixing the stuff that is causing them to take punches in the first place and be resilient. And it's ridiculous to me. So that's just how I feel. And that's that. So, if you stayed to listen to my rant, thank you so much for watching. If you want to express yourself, this is a safe space. Comment down below how you really feel. If not, that's okay. No problem. But you're getting, this is unfiltered, and we'll be back to a regular schedule programming shortly.